Oh, yeah.
Hey, guys, wake up.
What? Whoa.
Hey,
What?
Hey.
hey.
The market must have been slow today.
What?
No, it kept pumping a little more, just a little more green pump today. No, Royce and I got to eat barbecue buffet today, so we were a little sleepy. Sorry.
Yeah, had a little bit too much.
God, I'm so jealous.
I give it about a mid-range grade, but hey, it's a buffet, so
Yeah.
it was good
The
while it
banana
lasted.
pudding was good. The banana
Hey,
pudding.
they even brought extra banana pudding at the end for us.
And their
Of course,
potato salad is great.
it was portioned. That wasn't there. We had
Oh.
slaw and other stuff. Yeah, but that's all right.
Well, that's disappointing.
I wanted deviled eggs. If they would've had
Sausage is
deviled
really
eggs,
good.
I would've-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that would have been awesome. And would have been smelly. All right, let's keep going. We've got this is after the bell. It is Wednesday, and this is Arbitrage Trade, and we have our normal guests that are here. Except one has decided he would leave the country. He couldn't stand the presidential results, and he just had to leave the country. No, wait a minute. He wasn't one of those. All right.
Oh, okay. Jag nabbit.
Daniel's across the seas. Where are you this time? Are you back where you were before? Where are you?
I'm in the Philippines right now.
Philippines. All right. So he's in the Philippines.
Hence all the noisy traffic outside my window.
Those millennial problems they have, like horns outside of their Philippines while they're out in exotic places doing calls. And then we've got the banker, of course, in the bottom left. That's JPM, Josh Morgan. And we have Mr. Tinfoil Hat wearing, my partner in that respect,
Hey.
Royce Wells, Mr. Quanticus Maximus. And we have to talk about this little rally that just won't stop. It just keeps going up and up. The S&P almost hit a record again today. Just shy.
Yeah.
And
Day two after the
blues.
inauguration. What do you expect? Come on.
I know. I don't really expect anything really crazy to happen maybe until next week. I doubt the first week anything crazy would happen anyway. But that first day it was kind of flatlined a little bit, and
with 200 executive orders.
Yes, because they always say that they build these things in beforehand, but then they use the excuse that, well, it's new. That's why we're pumping now. But wait a minute, you said you built it in already. Okay, whatever. So we've got what else is going on, Daniel? You said something about SPX and gold and crypto, all the other things that are just going nuts.
Yeah, so I mean, things are creeping higher. S&P and gold are, I think really people were not paying attention to gold, kind of creeping back to its all-time highs after a big sell-off. We have, Bitcoin and Solana briefly hit all-time highs. I think Solana was a big, kind of surprisingly, in my opinion, really just kind of is maybe the altcoin of this season, and because it's the blockchain for all of the meme coins this time around, where everything used to be on Ethereum. This time it's Solana. And then oil dropped pretty big because Trump's back into drill baby drill.
Yeah, it's mid-70s at close today, which is higher than where it was, the under 70s. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. Who knows what excuse they'll use? Yeah, we'll see. Exactly. It's whatever they all got together and decided. Now, they made a lot of decisions this week in Davos. Have no doubt. The future of what we like the last year that we experienced was probably all hatched in Davos. In fact, it was hatched probably back about 20 years ago, and they're just in the execution stage. But they have to keep, getting towards that 2030 agenda that they have. So again, if you guys have a rabbit hole you want to jump into and you have some extra time, WEF, Larry Fink. I mean, you could throw in a bunch of names and put in 2030 agenda. Ooh, I like that noise there. That's not the barbecue.
I can.
That is motorized vehicles in the Philippines. Scooters. They love scooters there, right? There's scooters everywhere. But yeah, WEF, Economic Forum, 2030 agenda. There's a UN 2030 agenda. I think maybe they pushed it to 2035 now. Who knows why? Maybe because there was a 4-year exit that's happening right now. So we'll have to see what happens. But speaking of tinfoil, that's my little part of it, which I always bring that up. WEF 2030, man. All right. Let's jump into. You said something about the crypto, so explain this whole Trump coin, Melania coin. We talked about iFarts, all this stuff. I mean, what's going on there, Daniel?
You just call it iFart?
There was one, so
no, that was just fart coin. It wasn't iFart.
Oh, I thought it was an Apple product. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, the way their current product development is going, you're not too far off. Okay, so Trump launched a meme coin, which, I guess maybe I follow crypto broadly, but not all the different intricacies. I had no idea this was coming, and literally within 2 days, it reached a $72 billion market cap, which is absolutely absurd. And then, of course, it's fallen back a little bit. And then it was a day or two later, Melania launched her own coin for whatever reason, and that hit a $5.5 billion market cap. And this coincidentally was hours after Gary G left his SEC position, which I find to be pretty funny.
We're not being governed. It's not a security.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Right. So, and I mean, we had Bitcoin hit. Oh, sorry, I said my mic. Bitcoin hit its record high, and officially the Bank of America CEO coming out saying that they would use crypto for payments if regulators let them. And so, I mean, if this isn't the most bullish case for crypto possible, I have no idea what would be. But it also, I got to be honest, personally, I'm like, Trump, what are you doing launching that coin? Like, this is relax, dude.
Well, he did the shoes, right? I mean, he's got the gold shoes, the Trump shoes. He had a gold watch.
But shoes aren't going to reach even $1 billion market cap.
No, I know.
Right?
Plus, they're limited. They were limited though. But I'm just saying, it's just he's a merchandiser. He's a marketer. He does all that stuff.
Remember,
I mean,
he got it for fractions of a penny, and it's worth $70 per coin now. So yeah, he made a lot of money. Like, he may not take. It's like
99% of his net worth is in crypto now. They say.
Yep.
Because he owns like a majority of it. Speaking of him being a merchandiser, I still want to try his mail order steaks. My buddy showed me that in college, and I thought it was the funniest.
I didn't even know he had that. Wow.
He has mail order steaks.
I wonder if Omaha. I wonder if it's a private label of Omaha Steaks. Like they
might be.
He just.
It's just
I will.
It's going to be
fire. I got a great deal. I got a great deal for you, Omaha.
It just kind of seems to be like the natural progression of Trump and his sudden love for crypto. I mean, you got to think back to NFTs when he decided he was going to create those Trump superhero cards that you could buy as NFTs, and they were, exclusive and limited access, and the greatest NFT that's ever existed from the greatest president that's ever lived, and all that advertising that happened. And then now he just all of a sudden randomly drops a meme, let's call it a meme coin, in like some random afternoon, and it shoots up and the momentum gets crazy. All of his cronies jumped in on it and bought it, and he claims he's not going to sell for, or he claims he can't sell for like the next 3 years because of the way the whole thing is structured and this and that. And then the funniest part about it is you're expecting, a rug pull to happen at some point when he's going to cash out. And instead, his wife comes in and does it for him. And she drops her own coin like less than 24 hours, hours after he did his. And she's like, well, I'm going to get mine. And literally just, I mean, his tanked 50, 60% in hours.
That's probably when he sold some. Yeah. Not directly, but through other people.
Distribute the wealth. The other
I have no doubt.
Who do you think helped him set up the coin?
That's what I was getting at. Yeah, exactly. Baron, yeah.
Elon.
Yeah, I have no doubt he was approached with the fact, hey, why don't we sell a meme coin?
It's like, I have
mine. Oh, by the way, Melania, you too.
And you can make as much money as you want.
Yes. Look what I do with
currently
Dogecoin.
Sits at $38.
Yeah, look what I did with Dogecoin. And you can do it now too, Trump. Oh,
topped at 72.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then crypto's down to 105, 104.
A 10-to-1 return from where it opened at.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus you said that they The ownership is 90%, with the people who create or the owner who owns the 90%? I thought you said something about that, Daniel. 90% of that coin?
Trump owns it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
He's like the majority holder of it. That's
So
also
that's
why
actually
it like
something I'm
spikes
doing.
so hard, is because the float is so low relative.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Not that it matters what the float is anymore in this stock market, but it's good to know.
It really doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
That's just something to entertain you.
There's a billion tokens, and currently 200 million trade at a time.
Wow.
Yep.
That's tight.
And he owns what, 800 million of them?
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
Supposedly. I didn't look too far into it because I just wanted to delete myself after.
It's good to be the king.
Seeing people putting in $10,000 and being worth 50 million.
I'm just so glad that we're ushering in a new administration that's lowering regulations.
Oh my goodness, yes. I'm against that for sure. Oh, and by the way, let's put in Scott Bassett into the Treasury, who was a hedge fund guy. Let's do that. Since he'll make sure
Why
that
not?
nothing.
No, I don't understand why you guys hate partying so much. What's
Right?
wrong with
Yeah.
you?
Okay.
Live a little, baby. It's about to be
And
wild the next 4 years.
Scott Bassett is
Scott's
a Democrat. He has a husband. He's a Democrat. I mean, that's what's funny about it. It's like
he has a husband. He's a Democrat.
He does. He really does.
I mean, he does.
It has nothing to do with what party it is. So we can't say Democrat, Republican, because we all know, as we've said for a while, there's a deep state that just is going to run everything and all the money and everything else. So let's bring in Scott Bassett, a hedge fund dude, to protect all of his hedge fund dudes who've lost a lot of money over the last 4 years with this incredible stock rally we've had.
I think Darin should join the deep state.
Blood pressure's getting. That would be the last place I'd want to go. Last place. All right. The final short. Speaking of hedge funds, this section makes me happy.
I know I put this in here for you, Darin. So
you put it in the middle so I can calm down. I can calm down in the middle of this show and get my blood pressure back down so we can finish.
A little namaste for you.
Yeah, thank you. So Hindenburg Research, and I put this in one of my 3 things. As soon as I saw that news, it's like, yes, Hindenburg is closing their door or has closed their doors down. Give us a little more information on that. They're the ones that outed Nikola.
So they did Nikola. BS. They've done Carvana. So the guy, Nate Anderson, I think he's been running the firm for, is it like not 9 years, Darin? 7 years? Something like that. So I think he started the firm in 2017, and pretty much he's been one of the big name activists, kind of short sellers in the market. And to be fair, he has picked out some fraud, and then he's also just wreaked some havoc on some stocks. And he said he's closing down the firm because more or less that it's stressful. But the real speculation behind this scene is that more or less Trump was like, hey, we should probably look into that guy because he put out a short notice on, is it DJI or whatever that other Trump, whatever the actual DJT. Trump stock is, DJT. Yeah. So I think he might be doing a little of covering his butt.
A little retribution.
So here's the deal.
Darin,
people who short. Yeah, the people that short, they do have a purpose. Their purpose is for fraud. That's their whole purpose. But unfortunately, they took it and have taken it way over that. And what they try to do now is short a company down, especially what happened during the COVID. They tried to pick all these different companies and short them to hell and back, and then basically get their money completely back because they don't have to pay it up. Because once you bankrupt a company, you get all that money you put into shorts. You don't have to pay it. So you get 100% return. And I understand in COVID that could have happened because there were companies that were naturally going to go bankrupt. But they went after a bunch of different companies that have revived. And basically that's where this whole meme stock thing came from, and where the Reddit people came from, and where all of the apes came from, is to fight against these people who are trying to bankrupt 100-year-old American companies. And that's what it became. Instead of making money, it became a purpose and a mission for the apes to go against these guys who are so greedy that they made all this money, but they don't want to just stop down there with making 90% of the money. They want to go all the way. And that final 10%, they want to push it to where they get all that money back too. So that's where we became the apes, if you will, became warriors against. And it was like we got to a point, it's like, I don't care if we lose money. I want to make sure that we stay in this thing just to keep them from winning. And that's really what it came about. So I'm going to talk to my fellow ape here. Go ahead. I see some thoughts going through your brain there, Banker. Go ahead.
Oh no, there's just a little bit of irony there because, I mean, these company like Hindenburg, and then you go back to like Citron, which has a little bit more of a murky past. Hindenburg has some accusations and they have done things, but realistically, they're the ones that are kind of, when times of regulations go away, they're the ones that kind of come in, swoop in, and expose what you can say would be, the truth, or at least, opening the veil a bit. And so they're the ones that are kind of coming in and kind of helping out, saying, look, you're being scammed. Like, this is not a good stock. You should not be putting your money into it. And so I know that a lot of people with Citron, when they were just brazenly shorting a stock by releasing nonsense, guys like Hindenburg are, I don't know to say necessarily like the champion of truth, but they do, they are the ones that kind of really ultimately were trying to expose actual bad companies. Now, yes, they did have short positions in that, but it's one of the few ones that I kind of believe wasn't actually one that was really trying to just short and distort. They're the ones that are like, hey, I've got the story coming out. I'm going to buy some stock or I'm going to buy a short position in this. I'm going to release that position. It's technically not legal, technically not illegal, very much a gray area, but they would come out and do it. And that's why he's retiring, because he's got all the money that he needs for him and his family. And he even came out and said as much. I don't have any specific reason. It's just, I've got enough money. I'm fine. I've proved what I need to prove. I've done what I've needed to do. And now I'm just kind of going out at the top, which a lot of people don't get to do. But, Daniel kind of posed the question is like, why, or is this going to be, I guess what's the ultimate reason why he was shuttering it now, 3 days before Donald J. Trump comes into office? Yeah, I mean, he might have been poking the bear with DJT. He may have, had been snooping around into that but the funny thing is, like, I really think it's kind of like two market manipulators going head to head, because Trump is, what we've just discussed with all these coins, like, is a really, really good market manipulator. He is opportunistic and can, knows when he wants to, like randomly drop a coin and capitalize on the momentum. And, the opposite is true with Hindenburg. They were capitalizing on what they had and they attacked at the right time, going back to Nikola. And I think there was an Indian guy, billionaire, that they attacked ruthlessly. And then now, recently they've had several other ones and they've rolled out the last bit that they had and they've capitalized on their opportunities. And so you got to wonder, like, maybe he's just like, I don't want to mess with Trump. He's an expert manipulator. I'm going up against the best. And so I'm just going to bow out.
It's been a huge
there's a wink and a nod, and then they got contact, and they keep going.
Right.
Yeah. There's been a huge, and it's ongoing, and it's been going for years. A short investigation going on throughout the whole stock market, and one of these guys that went down is evidently giving up some other short sellers and what they've been doing, etc. So, he's screaming as he's going down and being held down. He's screaming about the other ones and what they've done. So I'm curious to see if, first of all, which I doubt now with the new administration, anything's going to happen, anything further with it. But it'd be interesting to know, and I guarantee you there is no such thing as Freedom of Information Act anymore, because they won't, we lost the blue sheets or whatever it may be that they just can't seem to find. But that is going on, and I'm curious if that's even going to be a thing anymore. This whole investigation into shorting and short and distorting. I think that's all I have to say. I think I've gotten it all out there. Royce, any last words on shorting before we?
Oh yeah.
Do you feel better, Darin?
Dang it! No, because Royce is about to reverse everything. Go ahead.
I'm not going to reverse anything. Basically, the stock market was made to go up. Period. Right? For people who don't have money, they play with options and they buy things hoping that they go the other direction. That's hope. That's not a strategy. People who short the market, they're selling the lower price goods. It's like you're undercutting, like you're going to a grocery store and it's like, okay, how do we drive all these people who want the price up here? They got $3 eggs. You know what? I'm going to sell them for 50 cents. Who wants them at 50 cents? Right? And so they basically destroy the market. And then once they destroy the market, they've cornered the market, and then they can buy it back and have 3 times, 4 times the amount of stock without much effort. So it's a strategy. Is it criminal? No, it's not criminal. You're not gouging. You're just trying to say, I'm not willing to pay, $400 for Tesla. I'll buy it at $100. I'll buy AMC at $3 or $4. I'm not going to buy it at $20. And everyone that wants it at $20, let them pay $20. But I'm going to sell this option or sell this option to buy it at $4. And if you don't like it, deal with it.
But that's more of like the Citron strategy. Like that's the one where they're literally just putting out garbage articles based on they're connecting some random dots that may or may not correlate. And then they're going to drive the price down. They're going to bring up, they're going to instill investor skepticism into the stock, and it's just going to slowly drive the price down. Then Citron would come back and would end up buying up either a vast majority of the shares, become a majority owner, like that. That's the short and distort that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm okay getting out of the market.
It's like, hey, it's an auction, so.
But it's a fake auction
if
because
no
it's
one's bidding, the price can't help but fall.
Yeah, but if you have,
but that's exactly who Trump is going to go to war with, and I'm okay with that.
Let's bring up a random investment comp. Let's talk about Citadel, just randomly, and if you control everything from the initial action to the very end action, and you can make everything in between happen. And you can have these market makers. You can totally clear out bids and ask and get a price down to where they want to get it. Possibly, maybe they do that. Maybe I've seen it all of a sudden. Just everything clears out and then drops down $5. Just how does that happen? Wow, you mean there were no bids in between? I guess not. But I mean, this crap like that. When you do illegal stuff like that, then that's when I have a problem with it. If you short something and then get to clear out every bid that was there 2 seconds ago. You don't think that
clear them out? Let's. I'm playing devil's advocate here.
I know you are.
Right, but what's to prevent it from being legal? Like, okay, Josh says I don't want to buy, and I'm going to keep picking on AMC. I don't want to buy AMC until it's $4. He puts a limit order out there. All those limit orders are out there, and then eventually they get enough limit orders out there. The market makers just go, no bidders, no bidders, no bidders, no bidders. We're gonna absorb all of that so that way we can pull these people in. That's not illegal. That's just a market being
that's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens.
You got to have a buyer for the seller and the seller for the buyer. Otherwise,
but if a buyer's on your team and the seller's on your team, then you get together and you create a game plan to drop a price down. That's why they call it laddering.
No,
that's the best kind of team.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
One in cahoots.
You can't get together and talk about it, but you can say, I see all that level 2 data where all this, that's public information. I see all this level 2 data that everyone wants to buy it at $4.
But level 2 is not a free service. It's not exactly public
for the
information.
retail investor, maybe not. For every institution, that's basically public.
And then when you see these little these houses like Goldman Sachs that they show their little their initials, and where they layer these prices, and which is the 10,000 here, 10,000 here, 10,000 here, and they ladder it and layer it. And then anytime the price gets near that 10K, they drop it, which you can't do that. That's illegal. You're not supposed to do that. They use these illegal maneuvers to manipulate prices up and down, in my opinion.
Don't worry, it'll be legal in like a few months.
It just be same as it always has been, which is passive. Well, I don't see anything. I don't see anything at all.
Oh, they get caught for spoofing every now and then. Relax.
No, I know, every now and then. Exactly.
And they get like $1 million. They get $1 million fine on a $5 billion portfolio.
There you go. No, they get this dude who just started 5 years ago in investments off in a place out in the middle of California. Oh, you did the spoofing. But I didn't see all that spoofing that Goldman Sachs did that shows when they did it, when they removed everything.
He's calling out names. I got to drop
I have videos. See
you guys next week.
I have videos. All right.
Darin's like TMZ for the stock market.
I still say in my opinion. That's what happened. All right, so let's go. If I have any energy left. I need that nap again. All right, so let's talk about mortgage rates. I thought they went up over 7. So you said they were still under 7, Daniel?
Yeah, from what I read, they're just under 7. They're at 6.7, which is the same price they were at last year. And with, that's a big truck. With the economy, honestly doing pretty well, jobs not going anywhere. The actual speculation is now that there will not be rate cuts this year, that they're expecting actually potential raises. And with the median home price in America not getting any lower, it's gotten higher in the last 18 months. Crazy. It's looking like it's going to be tough for the average person out here. We're going to need Royce's income strategy.
Yeah, and you go after these. What's going to happen, which it did in 2008 and 7, is these foreclosed homes and then short sales, et cetera, because these people, that wealth gap is being created, and you've got the wealthy. Like I've said this before, but the wealthy is what's keeping the economy going, and it's only getting wealthier now as this stock market keeps going up, and this wealth gap keeps getting.
The biggest regret. The biggest regret of my life is not buying foreclosed real estate when I was 12 years old in 2008. But it sounds like my opportunity is coming up.
I think it's back. It's back. And maybe even commercial real estate if you really want to jump in.
I'm going to do a PSA for the people. Did you know when your house is foreclosed and they sell it on the auction or whoever buys it, any equity in your house is still your equity, and you have a 2-year window to claim it. Most people walk away thinking that it got foreclosed on, and all equity is gone. If you don't claim it, the bank will claim it. So even if you lose your house, go back and say, okay, where's my equity?
And then go back and stay in it, and you have squatters' rights.
Yeah.
Now you have equity and a home.
Okay. I'll talk to him. I'll tell Royce. I'll talk to him. Okay. Yeah, that was Larry Fink. He said, shut up. He does not want to tell people this. And Jamie Dimon's also, yes, hello, yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not a financial advisor. I got you. Not financial advice, but hey, go get your money.
Yeah, but that's assuming it's a bank-backed mortgage. If you do anything
talking
private,
about their mortgages.
I'm sorry, say that again, Josh.
I said that's if you do, like if it's a bank back, like if it's a Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac backed loan, then yes, you can, like you are entitled to the equity. But if it's like a private lender, that's not necessarily true.
But most of them are bank owned.
No, you're right. Yeah, the vast majority of them.
Yeah. So, and another, just one more PSA. Most rich people don't outright buy houses. They always assume houses. They assume the loan of the person who previously owned it so that they would keep the lower interest rate. Who wants a 7% interest rate when you can have a 2.8, a 3.1? So poor people buy at the current and purchase at that interest rate. So whenever you're buying a house, make sure you ask them, is their loan assumable? And then split the difference in how much equity they have in there.
All right.
Just saying. For the people.
For the people. Okay. What's his name? John Legend. All right. So let's go to yes, go ahead.
I'll just say one thing you were talking about, yes, it has tipped over. I mean, because yes, the actual current Fed rate is like 6.7, something like that, but that's not what you're going to actually borrow at right now. You're going to actually borrow at a little over like a 7.25.
Right.
But
now,
the interesting thing,
now if it's assumable.
Well, oh yes, right. Yeah, I mean, your loophole is definitely different from what we're talking about. But yeah, if you're buying right now, and again, somebody that's currently trying to sell a house, it's become a real pain in my ass. But yeah, it's like 7.25 right now. But you got to think that mortgage rates are kind of like forward looking. So it's one of the things that we've talked about in weeks past about the actual, is Fed going to bump the rates back up again? And a lot of what drives mortgage rates is not only just investor sentiment, but appetite. And so we're kind of seeing, mortgage rate to me is kind of indicating that we might actually lean more towards an actual increase, like maybe a quarter basis increase in the Fed rate, which would have been wild to say 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
But we've got all these tariffs and everything that Trump's enacting are kind of going to possibly drive inflation. And then when you drive inflation, everything gets more expensive, and that inflation gets stickier and stickier. And then the Fed's going to bump the rate just a touch. Yep. Or at least that's kind of what mortgage rates to me are indicating.
Yeah. February 1st, Canada and Mexico, 25% tariffs. So we'll see how our 51st state does up there.
Canada?
Also, yeah. That was, and then we
Greenland?
we pretty.
I'm just curious.
Greenland, not yet. That's funny. He did not mention that in his speech. He did say Gulf of America, and he did say he kidded about Canada.
And
what else was he changing?
Canal,
Mount
right?
McKinley. He changed Mount McKinley. He's going to get that name back. It's the Denali, I think, is what it used to be called, or is called. What else did he do? There's some things he's pulling back that were done. Panama Canal. He's still talking about them and saying that China runs it, and Panama's saying no, they don't. We do, and it was gifted to them. So we'll have to see if that even matters or not, because it was gifted to them. I guess France will be wanting the Statue of Liberty back. Go ahead.
Hey, make sure you send some troops in it.
I kind of feel like I moved. Like I didn't even know it, but I kind of feel like I moved. I used to live on the Gulf of Mexico, and now I live on the Gulf of America.
There you go. There's only one Gulf. All right. I also call it America. To me, it's like that's a slap to Mexico, though. I don't know. It's crazy. It's semantics, isn't it? I guess.
I mean, you got North America, South America, the Gulf's right there. I'm just saying.
I mean, eventually, we'll just all get together and call it America, from there to there, all the way down. Even include Latin America.
To be fair, it only has to be recognized on like U.S. maps. Like anywhere else in the world, they don't have to recognize it as.
That's true.
It doesn't even have to be maps. It has to be any government official government documentation. That's the only thing that he can actually regulate and order.
Well, he could ask Google on Google Maps to change the name.
I mean, well, I'm surprised that
I don't think Google will do that
inauguration.
I mean, for the right price, even for a day, April Fools, you never know.
He's already got the votes. He was trying to get with those promises. So I think we're done with that. I don't think it'll ever happen, actually. And what was the other thing? Oh, the birthright thing now. So the kids that were born here in America, whether or not the parent was a citizen or not, under current Constitution, they are considered an American citizen, and he's trying to take that away. So, it's things that he says.
Fight.
Yeah, it's already under 18 states now have a lawsuit against it. So as I put in one of my shows here, is that it's going to be another 4 years of
so you want to know what's crazy about that, having now like been in Asia for a while?
And did we lose him?
We lost him.
All he had to do was say, having been in Asia. Did you see that? It was the key thing. He said Asia. I've been in Asia. All right, he'll pop back. Well, let's go on to, while he's doing that, let's go and go to the chart, though. It is After the Bell's Crayon in Charts with Royce Wells. Tell us what it is you are doing this week.
I am doing
Oh no, he's doing a millennial stock. All right.
Oh,
we need him back.
And he's
beautiful
gone.
Things,
I
beautiful
know.
things. All right, let's see. Let me get
Palantir
the charts to show up here. See, we got no charts here. Now let's turn on some charts and see what we see. All right. I'm going to turn the dashboard. Actually, you know what? I'm going to the other side first. It's easier. I'll turn everything on and turn everything off. All right. So 1 minute chart. Yeah, don't ever bet off the 1 minute chart unless you're just jonesing to do something.
Scalping.
Yeah, right. But 4 hour chart, PLTR is basically started its run. It started Friday around 3 a.m. pre-market. And so far, so good, from $70 almost up 10% to where we are. The question is, will it pull back? Let's find that out by actually turning on our trend top and trend bottom. This lets us know where the borders are in the trend. And I'm sorry?
I said you said border. Just go along with the theme. Go ahead.
Yes, that's right. We got to stay in the borders. We got to protect the borders. So far, it's traveling at a nice speed. Basically, it's not touching the sides, and it's continuing up. If it can continue this way longer term, let's go to the 8 hour. Basically, just see double the frequency. We need to see the compass line get back over to black. Compass line getting back over to black. We'll give the 8 hour the go ahead to keep on going. And where we are, basically, we dipped under, and basically PLTR went into a sell on the 14th of January, but since then has picked itself up. That pickup comes at a price, though, because basically this black line was sitting at the very top in our deflection zone, which means the candles had to go under it to get the line out of that area. But now that they're sitting on top, there's actually room for it to try to push and push again with a long-term 3-month forecast of about 103. Let's see if it can make it there. Short-term, however, I do think that because it's sitting outside of the apocalypse band on this time frame, and let me show you that real quick so you see what I'm talking about. Because it's sitting out of bounds where 6630 was the top, it's basically, see that red underneath? That's the edge of the apocalypse band on the daily time frame. So it's sitting outside the bell curve, not supposed to be able to live out here, but guess what? It is. And that pink line is not in the danger zone, so nothing is forcing these candles to go see that line just yet. We still have about maybe a 20 to 30% up in the sky. So let's see what it does long term. That's all I got. Learn more at arbitragetrade.com.
All right, that was Royce Wells using pips and all of our bands. That's that huge amount of bands that helped me with my pick of the days and my fall down Fridays. Yeah, so
25%. Woo!
Yeah, we had one. What was it last week? It was it was 2 weeks ago, and it was Signet Jewelers, and it was picked on a Friday. Of course, that's when all the fall down Fridays come. And that Tuesday, it dropped 25%. So that would have been awesome.
Yep. All you had to do was short. So you're
little two-day return there, or what the banker did, or just do puts. No, don't do that.
No, shh. We're not talking about that.
We don't talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about puts. All right. I don't think we may have lost for good our Asian connection. The Philippines may be gone. They may have just completely shut him down. Maybe one of those scooters ran over his power line.
No, he just shouldn't have said Asia. He could have said anything else. It's not Asia.
Every time.
Don't say Asia in Asia.
We don't talk about Asia either, I guess. We don't talk about puts or Asia, and we'll be doing just fine. All right, so let's go ahead. What happened here? I will bring up the it was Well Tower, which I'm beginning to think that he's picking these because he knows where they're going to go. He has some insight, because they always end up where in his channel here lately. He's 3 in a row. Let me pull up the scoreboard. You'll see Josh was going along, winning every 2 or 3 weeks, and now it's just bam, bam, bam. He's won 4 out of 5 weeks to take the overall lead, which is at 7 now. So it's 7.
There you go.
Wow, 7. Is that right? 7-5?
Yep.
To 3-3? I mean, is this insurmountable? No, he can only be tied by Royce if Royce does a back-to-back the last 2 weeks here. So, wow. And then, of course, being a teammate.
Knowing that he's going to put me last the next 2 weeks.
He should. I mean, that's what you should do.
I don't know. I might throw you a bone, shake it up a little bit.
Okay, a bone the third position, though, not the second. Your fellow AP or cheerleader. Anyway, we are looking at 10 now. 10 to, what is that? 7?
10 to 8.
10 to 8. So they can only tie us as well in the team thing. So, wow. Okay. It's good. It's nice to be up here in the strategy.
They can have their day.
That's right. So hopefully you do have one ready for us to go with. I would love to be able to. I would say Palantir would be one you throw in there, but I guess not. So do you have one ready for us this week?
We'll see. I got either Microsoft.
Oh.
They've been popping up a lot in like just random trends and articles, and they've got a lot on the books, and it's kind of been pretty up and down. So got a little bit of volatility there.
Okay.
If you don't like that one, do Corning. It's GLW. I don't know why, but it is.
While he's looking at that, I will let you know that on the
nice. Okay.
Hey, before you do that, Royce, just letting everybody know that if when you watch this back, you will now see Daniel Hopwood's old picture up in the top right corner when he was just a young chap. All right, so we'll.
God,
you have please tell me you have like an old high school photo.
Oh, it's hilarious.
I can get that if I can literally get that.
We probably should. That would be funny. It's already funny the way it is here because it's like he just came out of high school.
Phone call. I'm sure I can make that happen.
That's right. All right, so we're going to go to crayons and look at Corning Incorporated.
All right. So on this one, looks like we got a range of about 45 to about 55. So that's about a $10 range. So each person gets about $250 if you want to do that one. If you wanted to do, what was the other one you said? Microsoft?
Microsoft, yeah.
Yep, let me see.
Definitely should be higher dollars involved.
Microsoft, you got, about a 412 to 455. So I mean that's a much wider range, but in a week's time, I'd probably do GLW.
Okay, there's the bone. He just threw that bone to you.
It's neater. So
all right,
yeah.
I think by neater he means I know where it's going.
No.
I don't like that.
There's a clear $250 per person thing versus okay, we have to calculate and do some math here.
Got it.
All right, so
what are we looking at? Like, what's the range?
So about $47.50 and below, $10 range.
Right, the channels are $47.50 and below. You got $47.50 to $50. You got
capping
$50
at
to
55?
$52. Huh?
Okay. So you're capping it at 55?
Yep, capping at 55. Yeah.
In a week,
we're looking at a day chart here.
All right, I like 50.
What?
So where does it put me?
50 to 50, 50
55,
to 50?
Yes.
Where? 50 to 50, 250?
50 to 52, 50. 50 to 52, 50.
All right. And you know what? We'll take the middle. Oh, excuse me. I'm being presumptive here. Teammate or not?
Okay.
Are you going to let him jump in just to try to give him a fighting chance?
I don't know. Ego tells me yes, but I don't know about this. Okay, all right, Royce, go ahead. Let's see what happens.
Right, Royce.
All right, sweet. I would like, let's see, 47.50 to 50.
Damn it.
Dang it. That's what I wanted. Seriously, I was going to say I'm going to take the middle like we did last time.
I know that's like the one channel I was hoping you wouldn't pick.
All right, so I'm going
to and I'll tell you why. Now that I've picked, there's support on the compass line on the daily time frame, right at 48.50.
Yeah. Well, I will go. Well, I'm sorry. Am I next, or is the absentee?
Oh no, definitely you. He gets the leftovers.
Gee, thanks. Nailed it again. No, just kidding. I'm gonna take the bottom, just in case we have a market macro event and it takes everything down. So I'm gonna take the bottom. Then he'll take the top.
47.50 and below.
That's it. How low can it go? All right.
And Daniel's on top.
He's got the top. All right.
Currently, he's winning. Currently, he's winning.
Have we ever ended without, like, when someone dropped out and they never came back? Maybe we have. I don't know. I haven't had
not yet, but hey,
I didn't think
first time for everything.
Yeah, we can check that box off.
There we go. That bucket list. All right. Thanks everybody for coming in, except for Daniel, who decided to leave early. Maybe has a date tonight. I don't know. Maybe one of the honks outside of where he's staying was his date, and they just said, "Hey, you got to come downstairs." I'm kidding, Daniel.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but
please don't. Please don't. Let's end this before he does. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.